Namaste. I am Nitish from Tumkur. I am one of the team members of Nammura Kere Ulisona Banni. The meaning of Nammura Kere Ulisona Banni is come forward to save our lakes. From 2017, we have been creating awareness on the present status of lakes in Tumkur district. There are over more than 1,000 lakes are there in Tumkur district, but nearly 28 lakes are present in Tumkuru city itself. The population of Tumkuru is more than 3 lakh, and of course it's a very small city and it is also called educational city. The very interesting thing is these 28 lakes are well interconnected and well constructed by our forefathers. Presently, there are 3 lakes which are utilized for drinking purposes and only for drinking purposes. So, the names of lakes are Maidala Kere, Bugundnalli Kere and Hebbaka Kere. So, these 3 lakes are used to provide and to supply drinking water for Tumkuru city. The very bad thing about these lakes is the water which is to fill these lakes is from the Hemavati river. Hemavati river, it originates in Chikmagaluru district. Crores of rupees have been used to supply water from the Hemavati starting point to our district. And another very sad point is that we in Tumkur district, we have at least 3 major drainages. Shimsha, Jayamangali, Nagini, Kumudvati. There are 3 major drainages which are present in our district itself. And we have also very good catchment area. But the thing is, we are not conserving whatever the rainfall which is coming in our city itself. Because these what are the major problems which are faced by Tumkur lakes in these districts are mainly encroachment. We already know that everywhere this is the major problem. So these are called the conduits through which water which flows from the hills or from the catchment area to the lake is through Rajakaluways, and also it is called Had Gidad Halla Kollagalu. So these are the original terms. So these things are encroached by some people or some other way, or it is destroyed, or still some of them it is there. Okay, this is the major problem which are today which are facing. And the second thing is dumping solid waste, sewage waste and hazardous waste into the lake. So lakes have become a like a dustbin. The thing is, solid waste management rules have been introduced, everything introduced, but still the Mahanagara Palike committee or members are not doing well. So all the solid waste management, solid waste and household debris and then sewage waste and then medicinal hazardous waste are being dumped into the lake. Why this is happening? We can control the solid waste. As usual, everywhere daily this solid waste management, whatever the tender is given, they can do that one and it can be stopped. But we cannot stop the sewage entry into the lake. Why? Because this sewage system, which is whatever that it is already constructed, is combined sewage system, where the storm water and the whatever the household waste and industries waste are there, they will combine together and there is only one sewage conduit in which it will flows. The only solution to it is right now is to separate these, or at some point it has to be treated and then it must be released to the some of the lakes, and it can be used for drinking purposes, etc. For other purposes it can be supplied. So that is the thing. And next thing is, there are multiple around maybe hundreds of bowels are being digged up in the city to provide water. Okay, so these are some of the very big problem. And the next one is sand mafia. In some of the lakes, sand is there, and sand mafia is going on. And silt problem is there. It has to be taken out, and it has to be distributed to the farmers, so that farming lands of farmers will get enriched with nutrients. So this is also is not happening. um, so these are some of the very big issues and problems. The For water scarcity, and in order to sustain water capacity, a district has to look after its lakes. So this is one best idea, where if we reconnect it, these lakes does not only give water to the people, but it also reduces in climate change activities, and it also reduces noise pollution. The lake will enrich the biodiversity of different animals and aquatic species. And it also controls the heat, so it gives a very cool and calm environment in the city. And it is some of these lakes can be also be converted into a, like, recreational hub, where people can walk and jog. All those things can be modified, not to encroachment, but a little bit it can be modified, so that people can enjoy the view of the lake. And people can sensitize other people to look after this lake. So lake management is necessary. In the past 50 years ago, maybe lake management was there, and rural people were involved in lake management. So such lake management has been abolished today, so that one has to be taken care of. At least some people has to look after the lake. People means citizens have to come forward, and they have to look it. And and other livelihoods can be arranged through this lakes, fisheries, fishing. And if any recreational hub means boating, like that also can be arranged in a limited section of the lake. In another portion of the lake, it must be undisturbed, so that it will be good for the aquatic animals, birds, or any other species to survive in. So that is the one thing. So from the 2017 onwards, we have been creating awareness about lakes in schools and colleges, as well as in public places, by means of skits, songs, and also showing films. So these are some of the medias we have been using to create awareness on water conservation, and as well as rejuvenation of lakes. And water literacy program also we have been conducting in schools, so that students and children can come to know about what is water, and how sufficiently we have to use, why we should not waste our water. So all such things we have been sensitizing to children, and as well as to public. We have also conducted a cycle jata from different lakes to lakes. So it's a cycle jata from different lakes to lakes on the occasions of, and different occasions like Earth Day, Environment Day, like etc., to create awareness on the present status of lakes. So the thing is, and also we conduct trekking, like hiking, to show where are the canals, where are the Raja Kaluways, so that we walk along from one lake to another lake, again beside the Raja Kaluways, to show how these lakes are connected in the city itself. Then this becomes like a talking town, and people get to know about their lakes. And it also a good calorie burning activity for the city people. And I would like to share very one our success story, that we started with the Marluru Lake. Marluru Lake is one of the biggest lakes which is present in Tumkur city. Initially when we went there, it was all the Raja Kaluwe was there, but it was not at cleaned properly, and also some people were encroached it, and sewage waste was dumping. So we made a sign campaign. We sensitized the people, some of the villages which are near to the lake, that city people only. And we signed we made a one requisition letter with that one, every people signed it, and we also sensitized the children and everything not to dump waste and all. So we gave it to the DC and as well as to the urban local body. Soon after that, they responded positively. They cleaned the rejuvenate. They cleaned the what you call the canal Raja Kaluve, and also they stopped dumping of solid waste and other hazardous waste. They even fined the people who were dumping, and they collected some taxes. So that was like a punishment, and it was some of the place was encroached, and the environment forest department took the responsibility and take over it, and also they planted some tree plants around the lake. This was one of the success story which I can share. And then we have been moving on to, there are many different lakes we have been sensitizing people. Guluru Kere is there. Guluru Kere is also facing same the problem. Encroachment is very big in it. And then Narsayana Katte is there. Narsayana Katte, the jalebi fish is one of the famous fish which was available in that lake. But today the species is becoming vulnerable, and still it is in the heart of the city, but still it has not yet been made. And whatever the once the water is filled in the lake, it has to flow over the waste weir. That portion is encroached. And then Bugudnalli Kere, and then Narsayana Katte, and then Hire Kere, and then Uttaragatte Kere. So there are so many other lakes. Gundlammana Kere. These are some of the beautiful lakes which we can see. And if we make this one, rejuvenate the Raja Kaluves, and if we reconnect these lakes, these 20 to 28 lakes, we have sufficient water throughout the year. Not only throughout the year, in maybe 2 years we can have this water for not only for drinking purpose, it can also be used for the irrigation purpose. And if the water flows, it will again move on to the next villages, next even taluks it can go. The water can flow to the next taluk level. Such a beautiful connection is there. So we are working on this, and there are many people who are supporting this initiative, and many officials are well responded. But still some of the works which have been allotted to the like tender people, they have not done the work properly. But still this has to be done, because the authorities are neglecting about the lakes, because the people are getting water from the Hemavati project, crores of rupees are spending on it. And Maidal Kere is there, from that one people are getting, they think only about the drinking purpose, and 2-3 lakes they get filled each year only for drinking purposes through this Hemavati river, and they neglect the rest lakes. So in 2017, I wrote an article to the newspaper, and it was published. I said that if there was heavy downpour due to this climate change, the Tumkur city will face flood situation. That's what happened. Recently in 2020 May, there was a heavy downpour, and in the heart of the city, like in Kotitopu and Cassandra, in NH4, everywhere there was a flood situation, and the water was more than 2 feet height.
ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಹಲವೆಡೆ ಭಾರೀ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಸುರಿದಿದೆ. ತುಮಕೂರು ನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳೆದ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಸುಮಾರು 1 ಗಂಟೆಗೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಾಲ ಬಿದ್ದ ಭಾರೀ ಮಳೆಯಿಂದಾಗಿ ರಸ್ತೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ತಗ್ಗು ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳು ಜಲಾವೃತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದವು. ರಾತ್ರಿ ಸುಮಾರು 4 ಗಂಟೆಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಸಂಚಾರ ಅಸ್ತವ್ಯಸ್ತಗೊಂಡಿತ್ತು. ರಸ್ತೆಗಳು ನೀರಿನಿಂದ ತುಂಬಿ ವಾಹನ ಸವಾರರು ಓಡಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಷ್ಟವಾಯಿತು. ಎಸ್ ವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ರಸ್ತೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಜಲಾವೃತ ಆಗಿವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಧ ಭಾಗ ಮುಳುಗ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಈ ರಸ್ತೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭಾರಿ ಕಷ್ಟ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಹಾಳಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಜೀವವನ್ನ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಇನ್ನು ತುಮಕೂರಿನಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಗಮನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಧಾರಾಕಾರವಾಗಿ ಸುರಿದಂತಹ ಮಳೆ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯ ಅವಾಂತರವನ್ನ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ವಾಹನಗಳು ಓಡಾಡೋಕಾಗದೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಪರದಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕಾರ್ನ ವೀಲ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಮುಳುಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆ.
Bit high depth. So this is a situation. Why? Because the Raja Kaluves are encroached. Because the water which need to be get into the lake was obstructed, and it went into the city side. So this is the right time we have to take care of this situation, and it's the right time the district administration and minor irrigation department and rural panchayat department and urban local bodies, people have to be work together to solve this one. The encroachment mafia has to be abolished, and all the Raja Kaluves and all other canals has to be revitalized, so that water from the Devarayana Durga forest, Nijigal Betta and other small hills and from the catchment area will flow through the Raja Kaluves and finally can store into the different lakes. So this has to be done. So this is our main agenda. We are working on it, and once this is a very long day, it takes a long day, but we are working on it. So our next project will be creating awareness on rainwater harvesting in rural areas, as well as to construct a small 10 feet by 10 feet by 5 feet water storage for farmers, so that it can be used for the daily purpose, and also it can be used for to store water, so that their cattle, cows, sheep can drink water. It becomes a good asset for the farmer. These are our next agenda.